We got the North Dakota sticker.
We made it! Do you know that as soon as you get across the North Dakota border, that's when the wind starts?
Well, I don't know if that's the way weather works, but that seems the way it's working for us right now.
Hi, I'm Sandy.
And I'm Ed.
And this is General, our totally awesome water dog.
We used to live on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, but one day we found both of ourselves unemployed.
So we decided to take a chance. We sold everything, bought a trailer, and left to explore America. We're learning as we go along, but we still make mistakes.
But we get a lot of things right too. So come join us as we learn to RV full-time, explore America, and share in our exciting journey of discovery. Our next adventure is just over the hills. I wanted to top the tank off this morning, and in a little itty-bitty town in Minnesota, and I pull up to these gas pumps, an individual pump for each octane, old school. I just lift the handle. There's no debit card, nothing. I pump the tank, I top it off, I go in the store, the lady's at the counter, she says, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm here to pay for my gas." She says, "Okay." And we kind of look at each other, and she says, "Well, how much do you owe me?" So I have to go back outside. I don't know. And I went back outside, and I looked at it, and then come in and paid. Wow. That was an experience.
Small town Minnesota.
Small town Minnesota.
This is a farmer's elevator co-op, and we've been seeing these all over the place up here. I keep telling Ed I want to take a tour, but he won't do it. So I might just do a little bit of internet research and find out how these things work. So we're driving north through Minnesota. We are on our way to Fargo, North Dakota. And we have about 2 hours left to go, but just wanted to show you some of the scenery here. We got farm fields galore on both sides of the road. Not complaining at all. This is pretty awesome scenery. Just gently rolling hills with some ponds and lakes every once in a while scattered about. Got some cattle every once in a while, and we go through a little town every once in a while, and most of the towns have populations under 2,000 people, and we drive right through Main Street and come out the other side and keep on going. It's pretty cool. Oh, look at this church. That's pretty. Who drives faster, the train or Ed?
Ed.
We're just coming into the town of Wolverton, Minnesota, and there's the grain elevators on the left-hand side, and here's the town on the right-hand side. Wolverton has a population of 142. Probably not a good example of a town to show you because it's under construction a little bit here. But this is the type of towns that we've been seeing as we go along. Just right off the main road. And then we come out the other side, and it's back to farmland again. So the main attraction in Fargo, North Dakota for us, being history buffs, was Bonanzaville. This was an awesome place. So much to see. I mean, we were there for at least 2 or 3 hours. The main building at Bonanzaville has a bunch of information about their local history, and it also has a lot of information about the local Indian tribes in that area. So really cool. The trans-screwed elevator was originally built in the 1920s, and this building originally started as just a granary until the scale and elevator system were added. Grain storage in this little tiny building includes 3 1,200 bushel bins on one side and 3 600 bushel bins on the other side, and 4 hopper bins for temporary storage. I'm just amazed that they can get so much stuff into this little building. The Emden Depot was originally built by the Northern Pacific Railroad in 1900, and this train shed houses an 1883 Northern Pacific steam locomotive, a caboose, a Russell snowplow, and a 1930s 80-passenger coach. Pretty awesome. The horse-drawn vehicle building has every single kind of imaginable vehicle that would have been pulled by a horse way back when. This was really interesting. This barber shop was originally built right around 1900 in Buffalo, North Dakota, and many of the objects on display are original to this barber shop. Next is the Hunter Times building, originally from Hunter, North Dakota. This newspaper was in business until the 1940s. The Fernberg store was built in the late 1800s by Mr. Christian Fernberg near the train stop at Osgood, North Dakota. The Haberstadt cabin was originally built by a group of Finnish settlers in 1874 and was located northeast of Kindred, North Dakota on the Cheyenne River. Pretty awesome cabin. The very first permanent house in the Fargo area was built in 1869, and this house actually also served as a jail and hotel during its time. The South Pleasant Lutheran Church was built in 1890 in Christine, North Dakota, and it actually was open and held services clear up until 2013 when it was moved to Bonanzaville. The Dobrin School was built in 1895 and served Mapleton Township well into the 20th century. The school was named for John Dobrins, who was a farmer who lived in the area, and he was actually the father of 13 of the students in the school. The next house they call the Checkered Years House, and a woman named Mary Dodge Woodward was the first resident of this home way back when. And after her death, her granddaughter compiled all of her diaries into a book entitled The Checkered Years, and this book is available for sale. It's been published, so that's pretty interesting.
Next is the Hagen House, built by Martin Hagen in 1897 near Horace, North Dakota, and 4 generations of his family lived here without electricity or indoor plumbing. There is a summer kitchen located behind the house. The Houston Mansion was built in 1881 by David Houston, south of Hunter, North Dakota, at a cost of $7,000. This is a pretty awesome house, and the funny thing is about it, when we walked around the corner into the main living area, I jumped when I saw the bear rug, because I had never seen one of those before. The Transcrewed house was actually built around 1870, and in 1877, Mr. Transcrewed and his brand new wife moved into the house, and they raised their family in this house up until 1908, and it was used as a bunkhouse for hired men after that. The Pioneer Fire Company is actually a replica of an 1890s fire station, but it has some really awesome original firefighting equipment in it. Pretty cool. There's even a little telephone museum on the property. Look at this phone. This thing was huge. It was like 4 or 5 feet long. Pretty awesome little phone. And this building has the exact furnishings of the former Berkeley drugstore from Gilby, North Dakota, just as it used to appear. And they also have a law enforcement museum. And the Eagles Air Museum has more than 20 aircraft on display dating from 1911 to 1975. They have a C-47 called the Governor's Plane that was used in the D-Day invasion, and they also have a U.S. Army Huey helicopter. Pretty awesome. We found this awesome park just a short ways from the campground. That was our chosen spot to walk General in. Very pretty. It had a little lake and everything, although he couldn't get in the water because it kind of had a lot of algae around the edges, but still very pretty place to walk. Awesome park.
I don't think it tipped us over, but certainly has given us a rocky ride.
So today was supposed to be a travel day, but we're in the middle of 25 to 35 mile per hour winds today. So we decided to stick around for another day.
That's right. We had just recently driven in similar winds for 5 hours, and you know, I didn't feel we were in danger, but you're always correcting. You're always adjusting it. We have an anti-sway and weight distribution system, the Recurve 6, and it works well, but it's still tiresome driving in the wind. So.
And last night, we had a thunderstorm coming through, and we heard on the radio that it was going to have gusts up to 50 miles per hour. And you know, we didn't even think about it until the storm actually got here, and we saw the way it was shaking the trailer, and that was pretty darn scary.
Yeah. And so Sandy, being Sandy, she Googles it, and you know, how much wind can a trailer take? Finds out that 53 miles an hour should be able to handle that with the stabilizers down. So we had a 3 mile margin there. You know,
no big deal.
But the trailer was a rocking, and similar to the driving experience, I didn't feel like we were in danger, but it was an experience. And so wind's something to think about when you're traveling. Definitely watch the weather, and we always do. Try and plan the weather or our travel days so that it coincides with good weather. And it's just not rain, it's wind.
Mm-hmm.
So we hope that's helpful.
See ya.
Bye. Sometimes in our travels, I see things and I wonder, what in the heck does it do? It's got a cat engine that's powering a generator that generates 480 volt to drive something. Anyway, given where we are in Fargo, North Dakota, I'm guessing it has something to do with processing corn or soybeans.